The book of Jeremiah is one of the major prophetic books in the Old Testament of the Bible. It tells the story of the prophet Jeremiah, who was called by God to warn the people of Judah about their sinfulness and the coming destruction of Jerusalem if they did not repent. Ancestral town of Anathoth, Judah, God calls young Jeremiah to be a prophet before he was born. Jeremiah protests, saying he is too young, but God touches his mouth and gives him divine words to speak. Jerusalem and surrounding towns. Jeremiah receives visions, an almond branch and a boiling pot, symbolizing God's coming judgment. Jeremiah begins preaching against Judah's idolatry, corruption, and false worship. The temple in Jerusalem. God sends Jeremiah to proclaim that trusting in the temple while living wickedly is false security. Jeremiah delivers the famous temple sermon, warning that the temple will not save them if they continue to sin. Various locations in Judah, Jeremiah faces rejection, conspiracies, and loneliness. He prays and complains to God about his suffering. Jeremiah curses the day he was born, but continues to speak God's message. A potter's workshop. God shows Jeremiah how the potter remakes clay vessels, symbolizing how God can shape or destroy nations. Jeremiah smashes a clay jar before the elders, symbolizing the coming destruction of Jerusalem. Temple courts and royal palace. Jeremiah clashes with false prophets like Hananiah, who predict peace. Jeremiah is beaten and imprisoned, but remains faithful to his message of warning. Babylon and Jerusalem. Jeremiah sends a letter to Jewish exiles in Babylon, telling them to settle there and seek peace. He proclaims God's plan. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you. Still under threat from Babylon. Despite judgment, God promises a future restoration, a new covenant, and a righteous king, Messiah. I will write my law on their hearts, new covenant prophecy. Jerusalem under siege by Babylon. Jeremiah is thrown into a cistern, left to die, but later rescued. Jerusalem is eventually destroyed. King Zedekiah tries to escape but is captured. His sons are killed before him, and he is blinded. ruined Jerusalem and Egypt. Some Jews flee to Egypt despite Jeremiah's warning not to. Jeremiah condemns their idolatry in Egypt and warns of further disaster. Various foreign nations. Jeremiah delivers messages of judgment against Egypt, Philistia, Moab, Ammon, Edom, Damascus, and especially Babylon. A long prophecy of Babylon's eventual downfall, despite being God's tool of judgment. Babylon. Jeremiah's scroll of judgment is taken and read aloud in Babylon, then thrown into the Euphrates, symbol of Babylon's future destruction and sinking. Final historical note: Babylonian captivity. A historical appendix recounts the fall of Jerusalem and the fate of King Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim is released from prison and shown kindness by the Babylonian king, a note of hope.